All right, let's talk about something you use literally every single day, but maybe don't know how it works. I'm talking about machine learning, the stuff that powers your entire world. Today, we're going to pop the hood, open up the AI toolbox, and I'll give you the ultimate guide to the top models that make everything happen. Okay, so have you ever stopped to wonder, how does Spotify just know your vibe, like uncannily well? Or how does Snapchat find your face instantly for a filter? It feels like magic, right? Well, spoiler alert, it's not magic. Not even close. The secret is that machine learning isn't this one single all-powerful brain. Nope. It's way more like a toolbox, packed with all these different tools, and each one is perfect for a specific job. So, today we're going to take a tour of that toolbox. First up, let's check out the most fundamental tools in the box. These are the real workhorses of machine learning. Their whole job is basically to make really smart guesses and sort all kinds of data into nice, neat piles. Okay, these first two are awesome because they're so simple to get. On the left, you've got linear regression. Think of it like a fortune teller, but for numbers. So you could say, hey, I studied for 5 hours, and it'll try to predict your test score. Then you've got its cousin, logistic regression. This one's a little different. It doesn't do numbers. It just gives you a straight yes or no. Is this email spam? Yep. Super, super useful for any kind of sorting task. All right, next up is a tool you interact with all the time, K-nearest neighbors, or KNN. The whole idea here is pretty simple. Birds of a feather flock together. It looks at stuff you like, say the shows you binge on Netflix, and then it finds other people who have a really similar taste. We can call them your nearest neighbors. Then, it just recommends the stuff they loved that you haven't watched yet. Seriously, this is the secret engine behind pretty much every recommended for you list out there. So, those individual tools are pretty powerful, right? But what happens when you get them to work together as a team? Well, just like in a group project for school or, a sports team, these AI models get way, way smarter and more powerful when they team up. So check this out. Imagine a single decision tree. It's kind of like one person trying to make a choice using a simple flowchart of yes or no questions. It's okay, but, it can easily miss things. But a random forest? Whoa. That's like asking hundreds of different experts the exact same question and then just going with the most popular vote. It's basically the wisdom of the crowd principle, but for AI. And it works incredibly well. And here's how it works. It's actually pretty straightforward. Step one, the system builds hundreds of these little unique decision trees. Each one is a bit different. Step two, you give every single one of those trees the exact same problem. Something like, hey, is this person going to cancel their subscription? And finally, step three, you just count the votes. If, say, 400 trees scream yes and only 100 say no, well, the final answer is a super confident yes. Simple but powerful. Okay. So we've seen the basic tools, we've seen the team players. Now it's time to meet the rock stars, the brains of the whole operation. I'm talking about neural networks. These are these incredibly complex models that are actually inspired by our own brains, and they power pretty much all of the most mind-blowing AI you see today. So here's a good way to think about it. You've got your basic neural network. That's kind of like the core brain, the all-rounder. But then you've got specialists. CNNs, or convolutional neural networks, are the eyes of AI. They are absolute wizards at understanding images and videos. That's the tech that finds your face for an Instagram filter. Then there are RNNs, or recurrent neural networks. These are the memory of AI. They're all about understanding sequences in order, which is exactly why your phone is so creepily good at guessing the next word you're going to type. And just to give you an idea of how massive these brains can get, just look at this number. Over 175 billion. That's roughly how many parameters are inside a big language model like GPT-3. And you can think of each parameter as a tiny, tiny little knob that gets adjusted over and over during training. Every single one of those knobs helps the model get better at understanding language. I mean, the scale is it's absolutely insane. All right, so what's next? Where is all this technology going? Well, let's get into the final category. This is the new wave. These are the tools that are going way beyond just guessing or sorting things. These are the AIs that are starting to create and to act, all on their own. This new wave is basically split into two huge camps. First, you've got generative AI. Its entire purpose in life is to make new stuff. Brand new images, text, music, you name it. It's basically an AI artist or writer. Then, on the other side, you've got agentic AI. This is all about making decisions and then actually taking action in the real world, or a virtual one. Think of a pro gamer AI or the software that pilots a robot. And here they are, the A-listers of this new wave. In the creators' corner, you have the famous transformer models. These are the powerhouse engines behind things like ChatGPT. And you've also got diffusion models. That's the magic that creates those stunning, mind-bending images from just a few words of text, like in DALL-E. Then, in the actors' corner, we have reinforcement learning. This is so cool. It's AI that learns by pure trial and error, getting rewarded for good moves until it masters a task. It's how AI taught itself to beat the world's best players at super complex games like Go. So when you step back and look at all of this, you start to realize these models, they're so much more than just lines of code. It really brings to mind this idea that the best tools don't just help you see the world as it is right now. They actually let you build the world as it could be. And believe it or not, that's what you've just done. You now know what these tools are. You know the difference between something that classifies and something that generates. You know why a whole forest of trees is better than one. You've got the keys. The AI toolbox is officially open for you. So I want to leave you with this one final thought. You've seen the tools, you know what's in the box. The real question is, what problem are you going to solve? What are you going to build with this knowledge? I can't wait to see. Thanks for hanging out with me today.